guys, welcome back to my revision channel. So today's video is going to be about revision timetables. I thought this would be a good one to do because obviously everybody's going back to school, and if you've got mocks or just general exams, you might want to have a revision timetable. Now, I'm not saying you need one right now if you're doing your GCSEs in June, but I just thought I would talk you through how I always made revision timetables and just give you a few pointers. And I have linked a blank copy of the revision timetable I used throughout year 11 down below. Pre-warning, I don't know what's going on with my hair today. My forehead looks bigger than my future, but we're just going to ignore that because I've had my hair tied up in a ponytail for 3 days, so that's probably why it's a little bit crazy. So what I like to do with my revision timetable is try and fit my revision around the rest of my life. I don't try and move everything else around, I just fit my revision where it fits. So the first thing I will always do with a revision timetable is just put in when I've got school. So the best thing to do is to break up your day into half-an-hour sections. And I say half an hour because it makes you feel like you've done more. So say if you do an hour of revision, that's 2 sections you can say that you've done. So if you split up your day into half an hour instead of an hour, it gives you a bit more flexibility to fit in dinner, breaks, everything like that. So the first thing I like to do is put in when I've got school. That is definitely the first thing that you need to be able to do, is just put in school and college, because once you've got that out of the way, it's fine. Once you have put in where you need your actual commitments to be, make sure you put in any clubs that you have. If you do brownies, obviously you wouldn't be a brownie, but if you volunteer brownies, if you have a job, if you have a job, if you work weekends, if you do dance, karate, I don't know what you do, but make sure you put those in and give yourself half an hour either side of those clubs to get there, get back, you know what I mean? You don't want to be put in, say if you've got karate till 9, you don't want to have a revision session from 9 till 9:30 because you're not going to be home. So make sure you give yourself a wide berth, and also put in dinner and a couple of breaks. So once you've done that, you should just have a blank canvas that you can use to put in your revision. Now, I'm not one to tell you how much revision you have to do, you just need to decide that yourself. But what I used to do is, obviously some subjects needed more prioritising than others. So for me, I like to revise English and history a lot more than say Spanish and German, because there was a lot more to revise. So I would set aside 4 sessions for English a week, 4 for history, 3 for all my other subjects, and then 2 for my languages, because I felt like I needed a little bit less time on those. And then I would put them in, if that makes sense. And I think the thing to do with this is make sure that you don't have too much of the same subject on a day. I like to spread mine out throughout the week. You can try and correspond them with days that you've had lessons, but I wouldn't particularly bother. Honestly, just make sure that you've got the right amount of the right amount of study time per subject per week for you personally. And when you've done, just count up and see if that's even. Another suggestion that I would have, as you'll see in the template, is to do a 2-week revision timetable instead of a 1 week, because it just makes things a little less repetitive, and also you can factor in perhaps maybe doing slightly less on the 2nd week than on the 1st week. Or if you're in 6th form and you've got more frees in 1 week than the other, then you might need less revision time at home. So it is good to have 2-week timetable, because it sort of gives you that flexibility that you don't have with a 1-week timetable. Another thing that I would say is to colour code your subjects. So as you'll see on my template that I had for GCSEs last year, different subjects are in different colours, just so you can see at a glance what you're doing and everything like that. It's really important that you make sure that everything is just coordinated, because it makes your life a bit more coordinated. And another thing I would say is, please don't feel bad if you don't stick to your timetable. For example, if on one night I had scheduled an hour of Spanish, half an hour of history and 2 hours of physics on a Friday evening, and I only managed to do half an hour of Spanish, half an hour of physics and half an hour of history, as long as you've done some of the subjects that you've put down on that day, I wouldn't stress yourself. And another thing to say is, if you've scheduled to do Spanish from 7:30 till 8:30 and you do it from 7:45 to 8:45, or you don't do it at the exact same time, as long as you've done the subjects and the time that you've said that you wanted to do, that's fine. For example, if I had 2 hours of English and an hour of chemistry on one night, I wouldn't actually stick to what I've written. I wouldn't be half an hour before dinner, an hour after dinner, and then a break, and then half. I would just do it when I wanted to do it. If I was tired after school, I would leave it. If I had homework to do, that's another thing, make sure you factor in your homework. But honestly, don't beat yourself up. A revision timetable isn't there to like dictate your life. It's there to make you feel more organised. I will not lie to you, I did stick to mine quite well for most of my GCSEs. Especially at the weekends, I did make sure I set aside time. But as I've just said, I would usually do like 4 or 5 hours on a weekend day. And honestly, if I've put the subjects down, I wouldn't stick to the times. Like, I would switch them around. I'd do them at different times of the day. Sometimes I'd do it at 7 in the morning, sometimes I'd do it at 10 at night. Just fit it around what works for you, instead of fitting it around like an actual timetable, because it is just a piece of paper, and as long as you know that you're doing enough revision, there isn't really any need to stress. So I hope that this has been helpful in helping you create a revision timetable. If you want to, be sure to like tweet me them or comment a link to them down below, and I can tell you what I think. Not that I can like help you like properly because it's your timetable personally, but I do really recommend revision timetables, but only for around exam season. Don't have them for like all the way through the year. Just make sure you're getting home, doing your homework on time, and just going that way instead of having a revision timetable, because after a few weeks of it, trust me, you do not want to do it anymore. But the feeling when you can take it down off you all is pretty great. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, then please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. We're really close to 30,000 subscribers already on this channel, which is amazing. And please do comment down below requests. I just want people to comment requests every single time I upload a video, because I'll just read through the comments, and if I see one that jumps out at me, then I'll be doing that. So yeah, make sure you comment all your requests as many times as you want down below, and I will see you very soon on this channel with a new video. Bye guys!